That's my favorite song. Oh no, you just got busted sniffing MDF.
Oh, we're live. We're live. What's up, guys?
We might get banned for that. Come on now, don't be doing that stuff. Not like they blur everything out on YouTube now, right? You can't say certain words and the blur stuff out. So don't be sniffing the wood. You'll get us in trouble.
I just gotta put it down, right?
We got Tonio and Ron. Hello, gentlemen. Good evening.
What's up, guys? Happy Thursday. Thursday.
I guess that's an appropriate way to say it given the month, right? Good evening.
Yeah, I almost changed our background for the month of October, but I figured I'd give it for one more week and then we can get into our spooky mood for the holidays.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to try and get in a Halloween twisted scenario that I had planned for last year, but never got it on the table. I didn't get it on the table last year. Or I could just do the zombie one that you did, the one that you wrote. That would be a good one.
I'm actually hoping to get, because I still haven't got it, the Simon Marvel Zombies, because I'd like to do that during, Halloween, or I don't know, maybe I'll do a Don't Look Back, the Gord
that'd
Reaper.
Be good, yeah.
Got the Gord Reaper scenario still.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, any of those would be good. Even Violent Dark, you could do, since it's a horror-ish sci-fi, but you could go really more, like Event Horizon or.
What was the quote? In space, no one can hear you scream.
Yeah,
I think that was the quote.
That was the one. So, well, what you been working on, dude? Anything besides buying comic books?
Yeah, we were just talking comic books and all the stuff that I've been posting for Halloween. But I actually, from last week, our little hobby hangout, I worked a little more on the Japanese small house. I just got to put the inserts in here, and I think there's some flooring I got to put in, and I got to put the door back on because I pulled it off. I was
kick it in.
Yeah, I kind of kicked it in, and
so look, Spaz is here on time. What's going on with that? That's crazy.
Finish this off a little bit, so I got to start doing all the little add-on stuff with the magnets and the.
Yeah, and the Pit Lord one from Malev is live now too.
Yeah, that's right. This week that came out, and it's similar to this. It's just a fantasy version of it. So
I like the idea of both of those, especially for like how the box is the carrying case.
Yeah, that's cool.
I like that because. It's something easy to take with the kids, and my kids like mini games. So, something like that. I've been on the fence about both of those, but the Pit Lord one kind of piqued my interest a little bit more than the Demon Ship one did.
Yeah, it might. Fantasy and.
Yeah, I feel like it's a little bit more. This probably doesn't make sense to anyone but me, but a little more generic in just it's just a little. Arena fighting, like it reminds me of Arena Rex.
Yeah. Yeah. Good comparison.
But on a smaller scale, and I really liked that game because of how fast you could play it. Let's see what we got. Painting minis for the Orc Quest Kickstarter that Spaz just got, and Ron is painting some Star Spawn minis. I don't even know what those are.
Cthulhu-esque.
Okay.
Over here, I just can't reach them.
Okay, I got you. Cool.
Yeah,
cool. Everybody's working tonight. I actually got a couple models done this week, surprisingly.
No.
Why? Yeah.
Was it a certain Star Wars model?
Oh, don't be silly. No, she's right here, still not painted. No, don't be silly. No, I finished up Bastion from Twisted, and then I was also working on I had a little Scarecrow horror clicks with a big scythe in his hand.
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
I just kind of threw him on the table because I knew he'd just be a couple shades of brown, speed paint, and some yellows. And I think all together, including clear coating him and gluing him to the base was like 17 minutes worth of painting. So that was cool. So anyway,
looking to see if I had the any of the other Gourd Reaper expansions. I think I do somewhere. I don't know, probably in a box.
Yeah. So if any of you guys are planning on any sort of like a special Halloween game session, Zombicide marathon or
maybe
anything
even an
like
RPG session, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, like a werewolf or a vampire RPG session, that'd be cool. I really cool. I've got that one really cool zombie RPG over there, which is pretty much all your guys are guaranteed to die. Yeah. That'd be a fun one to do for Halloween, just a one-off.
Now there's a system. I think it was Fantasy Flight did it. It was called End of the World series, and they did a zombie book that basically there are different types of scenarios. Maybe you want to do raising from the dead or a chemical zombie or biohazard zombie or something like that type of all the different types. And in the game, basically your character, it's like one-off, so you're guaranteed to die.
Yeah.
But you're playing a character that's kind of based on yourself, and the environment is what you know.
I remember you telling me about that. We had this discussion. Who knows how long ago it was? We've been doing this for a couple of Sundays now, so it's been a while. But I remember you mentioning that specific aspect of it.
And I mean, they have the zombie one. They have alien invasion type stuff. So different types of aliens.
Right.
They got, I think, apocalyptic monsters. So you could have kaiju, or you could have like some great ancient monster returning, like Cthulhu, or I think they have an Aztec type of thing in there. And then I think there's like Terminators and stuff too.
Yeah, but Spaz has a question.
Do they have the indie invasion scenario? Well, you know what? You could make one if you want the little big brain aliens, coming after you.
That's right. So, all right, what are we talking about tonight, pal?
Well, let's go into it. So we've kind of, I think, hinted a little bit of this because we were talking about before the show, but we wanted to do a fun one tonight and talk about what IP, intellectual property, is out there that maybe doesn't have a game system, whether it's tabletop, board game, miniatures, or even an RPG. Do we want to see get its own version of one of these, and get it to the tabletop? Now, I think we came up with this idea a while ago, didn't we?
Yeah, but there's a caveat to this whole discussion, and that's this. We're not discussing the reality of a game destroying an IP or an IP destroying a game.
This is just wish list.
It's just dreaming. Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Yeah, but I want to see, we want to see this hit the table basically. Now, like you said, this could all be just wishful thinking. Let's throw some pennies in the fountain type of thing. And, who knows? But, I think anybody that's kind of, adventurous and can just maybe do something at home, homegrown type of scenario, take a system that's already out there, reskin it.
There's already one that works. See, as we were discussing these IPs coming to a game and I was making my list today, this is what occurred to me is if you have any IP that you want to do it with, there's already a rules engine out there that you can reskin however you want, and it's Song of Blades and Heroes.
Yep.
That is the simplest reskin, and it's a good system. It's a tight system. But okay, I gotta give Ron some props. This sounds like he's got a winding up his campaign with an epic battle with the Red Wizard Lich, Zaz Tam. That should be fun.
So everybody's gonna die.
Yeah, basically. So we're gonna end this one with everyone dying.
Yep.
Sweet.
So you said you had a couple. I got a couple.
I got a few.
You got a few. You want to start off? I think what we'll do is maybe we'll name them, kind of why we think this would be fun, like maybe what it would work as. I don't know. Maybe we'll do a little bit of brainstorming too.
Yeah, let's write a game. Man, is anybody on from Blacksite Studios? Hold on. Let's say if anybody's watching from Blacksite Studios, right? Where you at, Doug? Where you at, fellas? Come on. Where you at, Matt? So the first one I had was Stargate. I love Stargate.
I mean, right? We thought about this, and you're like, I don't know, and I'm like, it's Stargate.
Stargate, right? Because especially as a terrain builder, right? You've got the Stargate.
Your worlds are limitless.
Right. You build whatever you want. That was always one of the appealing things to me about 40K, as I didn't just build ruined cities for my tables. I was like, whatever. It's my imagination is the limitation, and Stargate would be so good for that. Now, I want to say it was Rebel Minis, and I may be wrong. It might have been Eureka, but someone put out a line of Colonel O'Neill and the main Stargate team. They were pulp style. They were done in a pulp style. So, they had the cast base with them and everything. But I think Stargate would make a cool game. It's got a lot of weapon cross sections, and you could easily skin it with Song of Blades and Heroes. You really could. But that's my starter right there.
Now, and I think I kind of want to say that they might have did like a 1-book RPG thing out there too, years and years ago.
Oh, that's possible.
In the height of its popularity, I think.
Let's see what the Google machine says.
Do some Google food.
I'm going to use the Google machine and see what it says. And while I'm typing here, someone's going to go, oh, yeah, I have that book. Right. Oh, okay. There it is. Ron said, you know what? I think that's right, Ron. I think it was Papsicle Minis that I remember seeing it. Yep. There is an RPG. Looks like it might have been Fantasy
Mordifius,
Flight.
Maybe.
Let me see. Let me click on it.
Probably not.
Which I think that they tend to hit the RPG. I think that's a little easier to translate the IP into, just because you don't really have to do anything.
Yep.
Good morning, you know what Alder? I mean? What's happening, Alder? So I think that's look, see, I told you. Look, there's Ron. He's like, I have the books. we are in fact that group, right? We are that group. There's no question about it. So yeah, that was mine, Stargate. But I'd like to see it in miniature format, skirmish game. 5-man. Just a little 5-man squad, keeping it real small, real simple.
D6s, you think? Something like that?
I mean, if you wanted to skin it for with Song of Blades and Heroes, it would be D6. Yeah. But if I'm just dreaming, my sweet spot's going to be D10s. That's what if I'm not going to be using the whole dice set like Twisted, then I like the D10 dice set. Wild West Exodus. The Drowned Earth. I love. It seems like that's just a sweet spot for the numbers and the rolls. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we had that discussion about Wild West Exodus quite a while back. I remember too. See, there's Ron coming through. He's got the Babylon 5 RPG books.
I remember those ones too. And every once in a while, it pops up in I get an email from Night Games or wherever on the internet. Right. And they'll show off that Buffy the Vampire Slayer RPG that came out in 1998 or whatever. And I'm just like, ooh, I always wanted that.
Yeah. Let me add it to my collection of books over there on the shelf, right?
Yep.
All right. What do you got, man? I had Stargate. I got D10 Stargate skirmish scale.
I don't know if I should go big or just work up to my big ones.
I don't know.
Because mine are all kind of similar genre wise. You know what? I'm going to go straight to my number one.
Okay, go number one.
So I think, and I got props for this, the one I want to see the most is this sucker right there.
Oh, shut up. I didn't even think of Krull.
I want to see Krull in some kind of tabletop RPG so you can, explore the world a little more. I think a miniature game would be fun because you have different factions. You could play, within just humans, you can have different factions because of different kingdoms, or you could play the aliens, or, you can get more into the fantasy if you want. The thing I love about this movie is the mix of sci-fi and fantasy. That's what I think makes this unique. It's very underrated in its idea.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen anything like this. And I just think it'll be fun. Humans versus aliens.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, that is
swords and lasers. Yeah.
Listen, that is a piece of my childhood, like the Dark Crystal. Okay, Krull is.
Look at this stuff. That nasty guy right there.
Yes. Yes. Perfect.
And of course, I got the comic version.
I didn't. You know what? It didn't even occur to me to think of Krull. It didn't even cross my mind. This is why we do this. Okay, so Alder, we're chatting about, we're dreaming what IP we want to see go to the table.
Yeah.
RPG maybe, but we're mostly talking about getting it on the table with miniatures. We're just dreaming to have whatever IP that's not out there. Okay, my next one is straight up. You're gonna love this one, Eric. You're gonna absolutely love it. Are you ready? Thundar the Barbarian.
Now you took my.
Did I take yours? Great minds and all that, right?
I even dug out that.
But like you said, it's like Krull.
I got miniatures for it already.
It's like Krull. It's sci-fi, sword and sorcery.
Yes.
And aerial Ukla ride, right?
I mean, this has got all three of them. It's got the science. It's got wizardry. It's got apocalypse. It's got. I mean,
and a flaming laser sword thingy.
Yes, I mean, one of the things I said this might excel as like an RPG to explore those worlds. All the different weird cults and factions, and you could have wizards and lizard men and werewolves, and I mean, they had so much in this world that you can explore, or you can just be a straight up barbarian. Right?
Something doing Thundar might even be that might do well because of the ability to explore the world, because it's not real super expanded, but like a 5 parsecs from home sort of style, where you've got that in between.
Some of my favorite episodes of this show was like when they went to San Francisco. And this is supposed to be like hundreds of years in the future, but you still see the San Francisco Bridge. It's got vines all over it and stuff.
Well, let's be honest, because when it was made, that date for it is probably like 2015, right? In the dark future of 2015, there is Thundar the Barbarian.
Oh man, and and I've looked for stuff that's similar to Thundar, like for RPGs, and there's some out there. That are post-apocalyptic science and sorcery mix. But the systems, I don't know about the systems, that's the thing. I think you really got to find that system. And like you said, for the tabletop, for miniatures, that system would work with the dice and stuff, I think pretty good.
Yeah, I think so too. So we got a couple comments here. Adam says, doesn't have an answer, but years ago would have fantasized about Game of Thrones, Marvel, and Star Wars. We are in the golden age. That is correct. No doubt about it. We are in the golden age. Tonio says, Tribe 8 from the DP9 RPG as a skirmish game, or Chronicles of Hawkmoon. Yes, from Michael Moorcock. Yes, that's a great idea. I love Michael Moorcock. Awesome author. Awesome. Definitely. Okay, so my next one, I'm gonna go with Adam, because I have G.I. Joe on my list.
And I think this is a strong possibility, because is it Renegade, I think, that owns the rights to them, and I think they did do some board games and maybe an RPG.
There is an RPG, I know that, but I have the whole line of the first, second, and third edition Joes in 28 millimeter pulp.
They do have an RPG. Okay.
Yeah, I know that they have an RPG. I almost picked up the book, but the thing I didn't like about the concept of the RPG. Hey, there's Doug. Man, you should have been here earlier. Is the thing I didn't like about the G.I. Joe RPG is I felt like if I'm playing an RPG, I don't want to play Duke. right? I want to be my own G.I. Joe.
You want to be some scrub that just joined the crew?
Right, but I'm never going to be Duke or Snake Eyes. You know what I mean? I'm just a scrub that joined G.I. Joe. At least in the skirmish game, I can use Duke and Snake Eyes and everybody. You know what I'm saying?
It has total shades of me being a 10-year-old and making up my own names to be a Joe.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. So I had to go G.I. Joe because I think that one would do well. There's a guy, I wish I could remember his name, and he runs around the convention circuit, and he has a whole, like, he has 3D printed the Cobra asps, water moccasins, rattlers. He's got everything. It's all 28 millimeter. He's 3D printed pretty much every vehicle you can think of, up to, say, like, I don't know, 93, 94, right? Okay. And he's got it all printed out, and he runs this huge skirmish game. Well, it's not even, it is a skirmish game, but it's like a bunch of little skirmishes going around. I have the 28 millimeter Sergeant Slaughter. I'm just saying.
Well, me being a Chicago guy, I got a Refrigerator Perry G.I. Joe.
Oh, heck yeah. I had the fridge. I used to have the fridge. All I got left is up here is two of my favorites. I got Lifeline and Doc.
Do you remember what his weapon was? It was
a big stick with a football on the end of it.
Football.
Oh, yeah.
It's like I
totally remember that. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh
okay, gosh. Doug says, what did you miss? He had the window open and it didn't start playing. So we are dreaming of IPs going to the tabletop,
for tabletop.
Not the logistics, not the possibilities of a game getting messed up or an IP
licensing
messed up or none of that. Just dreaming IPs hitting the tabletop. That's what we're talking about. And so far, you've missed Krull,
Stargate,
and Thundar the Barbarian, and now G.I. Joe. So
yeah. Spaz has a good one. Could you imagine a Mystery Men RPG? Oh my God, that would be ridiculous.
That would be like playing Paranoia. Remember Paranoia?
Superheroes.
that would be like that would totally be like playing Paranoia. Oh yeah, that's a good one too, Clem. The original Land of the Lost. That would be
I've been looking for this show on like a DVD, collection type of thing, because I think there was one at one time, but I think I got lost to time. I mean, that was a Saturday morning.
Was it the Land of? Did it get lost?
It got lost.
Oh, okay. All right, so what else you got? Because we're running out of time. I got some important ones here.
So my last one is similar to we had the Thundar and Krull, but this one's more straight up fantasy. Okay, I am talking Conan. I want to see a Conan miniatures game that's just, it's straight up barbarians fighting. Right. I mean,
with Thulsa Doom.
Yeah, or you have stuff like this, Conan fighting some big monster, it's just classic fantasy barbarian type of stuff. And the thing with Conan is there was an RPG out that Modiphius made using a 2D20 system.
And there's a board game too. I've got a bunch of the monster minis.
Yeah, I think the board game was Monolith. Back in like 2016. Every once in a while I go on eBay to see if I can find it, because it was a Kickstarter. Yeah, and there's some pricey out there, and it's one of those things. I remember seeing it in the store when it came out, and I kicked myself for not buying it.
Spaz, Ron, and Clem are saying there's a mini game. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's the board game y'all three are talking about, right? I didn't think there was just a straight skirmish miniatures game. There was
I think it's like your CMON type of game. You got your board and scenarios.
Miniatures. Right.
Yeah. I want a straight up skirmish game where, a real small skirmish. Maybe it's like, one character, you're barbarian. It doesn't have to be Conan, but a barbarian and maybe a couple of guys, maybe a wizard, maybe just an archer, something basic. And you're going against cults and whatnot. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, so I got a couple more. I'm going to go Dune. I thought Dune would be pretty cool.
Dune, yeah.
I thought that would be a pretty cool idea.
I mean, we got card games, RPG games for that. I mean, what's next is miniatures. Come on.
Got to do the miniatures game. I mean, it might get a little boring with the terrain because everybody's going to want to fight on Arrakis, right? You want to have the big worm, but
that's when you just make mountains.
But it's a whole universe too, so that expansion possibility is there. But okay, I'm rushing through these last ones just so that I can get to the penultimate of all of them, which is the one that is going to happen one way or another. Okay. But the next one that I think would be super fun is werewolf, vampire, and that whole White Wolf World of Darkness.
Okay.
Skirmish style game. I think
big established world already. So I can see that.
Super established world. Lots of variety in how you would build your, if you were doing your werewolves, you're building your cairns and all of this other stuff. I think there would be a lot of cool dynamic in there, and you could keep the same essential D10 system. See there?
Yeah.
See there? Yeah. That would work. I think that would work. Okay, so here's my last one. As the timer is ticking away. Okay. For those of you who have been listening for a long time, you will appreciate this. I have some miniatures specifically set aside that I use for my Christmas Twisted game. Okay. And for the life of me, I'm drawing a blank now, the guy that makes them. But they're gingerbread men. And I want a tabletop Candyland, okay?
Yeah,
I want to be. I want to be because I hate Candyland.
Oh my God, I forgot about Candyland.
I have kids and I hate Candyland. It is the dumbest game. There's like no thought to it. Now, bear in mind that my 18-year-old started playing 40K at 9, so. You go back to something like Candyland after a Crunchy game or Battletech or something like that. But Candyland on the tabletop, I've already got the minis. I'll post some pictures in the Discord afterwards. There's some old ones on the page, but no Candyland. But I'm talking the whole colorful world, right? You got the lollipop trees and everything, except your gingerbread men are armed. There's blood on the suckers and the trees and stuff. That's what I'm thinking.
What would be cool is you design the rules that you use this game board, but everything else is different. This is your playmat, basically. I think that would be fun.
Maybe. Clem says frosting everywhere.
I think everywhere. The company, or the game at least anyway, it's called War in Christmas Town or Christmas Village.
War in Christmas Village. That's it. War in Christmas Village. And I have I've got all of the gingerbread men, but I bought a second set of them because the scenario that I have set up involves a lot of murderous gingerbread men. So Tonio said, not many, but there's Run for Your Life Candy Man. You can eat your gingerbread man cookie. Well, I mean, that works too. But so for those of you who don't know, way back in the beginning, Eric used to tease me about Candyland because I still have little kids. Yeah. My kids play Wings of Glory. They don't play Candyland. Okay. They're like, they would rather fly a World War I Sopwith camel on the tabletop than break out Candyland. And so I do not like Candyland either. However, once I found that War in Christmas Village stuff, I was like, oh, what about a bloody Candyland? Now that sounds like fun.
I completely forgot about that. It's been a while since we've talked about that. That was going way back in the audio podcast days.
Yeah, I mean that joke has been running so long that there's a old picture somewhere out there of me with a Candyland at Barnes and Noble that I sent to Eric.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Nightmare Before Christmas. Those would be some cool models.
Yeah.
Those would be some neat models. Never guess I was a homicidal gingerbread fan. I do like gingerbread.
I want to go back up to Alder's comment here. He mentioned Mad Max would be a cool skirmish game.
I did
think of this. I thought would be cool is to do something like what is the typical Mad Max, what happens in the movies the most? You got the car chase, right? Well, you think about it's like a fortress defense type of thing, but come up with something that it's moving. So you might have hazards come in. So you have like your semis, the fortress, and everybody's driving around trying to break in type of thing. I thought that would be neat.
We talked about this a while back too, though, is even though it was a board game, the Thunder Road, the mechanic that it had to move the board game pieces as you were progressing. And if you were left behind, you were left behind. There you go. Spaz has my back. Gorka Morka. I love Gorka Morka. Give me my dig a knob any day. Yeah, Gaslands hits that for the driving aspect of it. And then there was another game. I don't know if it ever came to print, Devil's Run.
Yeah, it did. I got all of it.
Yeah. Okay. So Devil's Run, and that was 28 millimeter Gaslands, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, Car Wars 6th edition. But I think that I like the idea of the IP of Mad Max, too, with that Thunder Road feel. Because, that's what Thunder Road was modeled after, was Mad Max.
Yeah, totally.
All the vehicles were.
I think it would be neat to have the little miniatures, though, on, so you can shoot and all that stuff.
Yeah, and take certain ones out.
Yeah. I want Tina Turner on top of a semi.
Who doesn't? Who doesn't want that miniature, right? Who doesn't want a big 18-wheeler with Tina Turner on top of it? I mean, that's just of course.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I did have one more. It was Babylon 5. I know it had a defunct run. There was a miniature.
Well, we already know Ron has the books for the RPG.
He does for the RPG, but there was also they did a super short run of Space Fighter game.
Okay.
And don't even try to buy it on eBay. Don't even try to buy it on eBay, because I've looked at some of the ships before, and they like their ships a lot.
Well, I might be going to eBay or even Amazon. I think you can get those gingerbread guys and snowmen. I think there was snowmen, wasn't there?
Like killer snowmen. There's
zombie deer.
Yeah, zombie reindeer and stuff like that. I've looked at a couple of the other ones to pick up, but I like the gingerbread men. They're just cool.
Yeah.
They just have they have the vibe that I was looking for when I was trying to create my scenario. See, look, there's Ron again. He has all the ships for Babylon 5, A Call to Arms. Of course you do, Ron. Oh, there you go, Doug. A Spaceballs game. Yes, Spaceballs, the game.
Perfect. Oh, man, Terrence showed up late. Catch it in the replay, Terrence, and comment. If you guys are catching this a little late, feel free to comment your ideas for IP, games that we don't have games out there, or maybe, a different version of something out there. Yeah. We'd love to hear them.
And if you want to try it, listen, go download Song of Blades and Heroes rule set. If you're not familiar with it, it can skin to any game. Yeah. It is, as far as simplicity and effectiveness on the tabletop, it is hands down one of the best rule sets out there, in my opinion. It's D6 based, not my absolute favorite, but for the mechanic and the way that it works, you can do absolutely anything with it. Absolutely anything. So that was a lot, man. I didn't think I was going to have that many. I was earlier today. I was all like,
you're like, ooh.
I got like, ooh, this one too. So,
oh boy. But I think it's your turn, sir. Look at, they're still going in the chat.
Look at them. All right. Yeah. See, Terrence has my back on that one. Song of Blades and Heroes is awesome. No doubt about it. All right, gentlemen, that is it. You got the banners, sir?
Yeah, I'll get those. Good night, all. We'll catch you next time. All right.
Good night, sir. Fastest 30-ish minutes in wargaming every Thursday night. Solving the gaming problems of the world, one game at a time. Don't forget to join us every Thursday night, guys. We will be on here. Possibility, if I manage to sit down tomorrow, I'm going to go live probably around the same time, just to paint and get some stuff caught up on painting. If I do, I'll throw it out there. You guys can join in if you like and see what's happening. Don't forget to check us out on all of the podcast platforms, Podbean, all that stuff. Doug, you'll have to let me know if you listened to any of those Twisted stories and what you thought about them. You can also check us out on Facebook, the YouTubes, and the Twitters, and the Instagrams, and all of that good stuff. Shoot us an email at indieinvasion@gmail.com. Boy, my record stuck there. I need to put a quarter on there.
I'm going to hit the side of the jukebox.
Yeah, right. indieinvasion@gmail.com. And if you know of any games or have a topic you want to tell us that you think we should talk about, also check out the Discord channel. I'm going to post some pictures of my gingerbread men in there. I'm going to pull them out and take a picture so you guys can see what we were talking about there. And last but not least, don't forget about the mighty, mighty Red Bubble, because the mighty Red Bubble is where you can get all of your awesome merch for Indie Invasion. On that note, after you go pick up your t-shirts and all of that good stuff, do not forget to create your own game in the Song of Blades and Heroes and to prepare yourself for the invasion.